Well, namaskar everyone. My name is Astro. Today I'll share with you about Jupiter in the 8th house. What all results one should expect when Jupiter is placed in the 8th house of a Lagan Patrika, that is your birth chart. Well, 8th house is the house of misfortune. 8th house shows problems and obstacles in a person's life. 8th house is the house of accidents, wherein 8th house also shows your partner's money or money with your partner, because it is the second house from the 7th house. So 7th house is the house of your partner or spouse. Then second house is the house of finances, house of your income. 8th house also shows unexpected money, like money, winning a lottery or winning sudden gains you will be getting in your life is shown by 8th house. For example, somebody had put you as a nominee in their insurance policy, and once they died you got to know that you were the nominee and you got the money from it. So you were not expecting it, but all of a sudden you got to know that there is a money with it. So this is the unexpected money, kind of unexpected money which you will be getting. You had put a money for some shares, and all of a sudden you got to know that that share has risen to a greater heights, or it has given you multiple returns. So this is what 8th house does. So what happens, this is also the house of research. So you will find 8th house Jupiter, or when Jupiter is placed in the 8th house, the person will be very good with the research work. He will be very wise, and he will do very in-depth research when Jupiter is placed here. So this is an ideal placement for a person to become astrologer in his life. So what is Jupiter? Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. Jupiter shows your fortune. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And Jupiter shows childbirth also in a person's life. Jupiter is a planet, whenever it will be coming in the Dasha and Bhukti, you will be able to feel the result of Jupiter very effectively, especially when it is there in the Dasha, Bhukti or the Antar. So 8th house results will get magnified when Jupiter is placed in the 8th house. So whichever house the Jupiter will be placed during its Dasha and Bhukti, that house results will get magnified in your life. So other than this, what all result Jupiter will be giving? Well, Jupiter here will help you to get gains through your wife. You will find these jataks will be able to earn very well in their life after they will get married. They will get support from their spouse, and they will work towards making joint assets, work towards making some investments together. Then that will be very fruitful for these jataks. Jupiter here also helps you to gain through research work. If you are somebody who's into research, then this is the best placement for you to go deeper into things and to take out results very easily and very comfortably. After doing certain research, you will be able to come out positively, or your results will be successful with this placement of Jupiter here. Now, what are the aspects of Jupiter? Jupiter has 3 aspects: 5th house, 7th house and the 9th house. So from 5th aspect, Jupiter is aspecting your 12th house. 12th house is a house of losses. 12th house is a house of capital investments also. 12th house shows your research and your you may say expenses, or a person whose over expenses are shown by 12th house. 12th house is a house of foreign investment also. So 12th house also shows foreign settlement. So what happens when Jupiter aspects here? Well, Jupiter is a benefic planet. So when Jupiter aspects 12th house, the losses or the problems of the 12th house will be reduced to a greater extent. 12th house also shows your hospitalizations and jails. So 12th house is basically isolation, living in isolation. So when Jupiter is aspecting your 12th house, you will find these people will get benefit through hospitals. You will find these people will be working in hospital, and there they will be enjoying their life. And they will be getting promotions, or they will be doing better when Jupiter is aspecting your 12th house. So from 12th house things, you will be able to earn good money. They will be better investments. They will put the money wherever they will put their money, or in the share market, or wherever they will be investing, they will get benefits out of it, because Jupiter here is controlling their expenses also. These people, you will find, will be living a moderate life, like they won't be doing over expenses in their life. Their expenses will be controlled to a greater extent. They will not do any unethical expenses, or any over expenses. They will not be doing. They will be doing very calculative expenses when Jupiter is here, and even their investments will be very fruitful with this placement. Jupiter also helps them to cure them from disease. If they will go through any disease or problems, then Jupiter here will help them to cure very early, or medicines will affect them very quickly with the Jupiter placement. So from 7th aspect, Jupiter is aspecting your 2nd house. 2nd house is a house of your speech. So these Jataks will be very polite in talking. These Jataks will always talk about purity, always talk about spirituality, always talk about wisdom, and they will speak very softly with this placement. Jupiter here will also improve their finances. These Jataks will only prefer earning through ethical ways. These Jataks will be working like they will be putting a lot of efforts in their earning, towards their earning. These Jataks will be very connected with their family. These Jataks will always maintain a very good relation within family members. When Jupiter, from its 9th aspect, Jupiter is aspecting your 4th house. So 4th house is the house of your home, house of your comfort. 4th house is also the house of your mother. So you will find these Jataks will be attached to their mother very closely. These Jataks will always be very caring towards their mother. Okay, these Jataks will be very attached to their family. These Jataks, whenever they will buy a property, they will ensure that their property will be very, somewhere close to spiritual place. Or these Jataks will buy a property at a luxurious place, or a huge property. Like they will prefer to live in a big property. And these Jataks, when you will enter their home, you will find very peaceful environment in their home. Very positive energies will be there in their home whenever you will visit their home. They are very calm and composed people. Okay, their house is very calm and composed and very spiritual. Very positive vibes you will find in their house. So this is how we need to understand the placement of Jupiter and how the aspects will be working here. So guys, this was my analysis on Jupiter in the 8th house. If you like the video, kindly subscribe the channel and press the bell notification. So thank you all. Have a nice day. Namaskar.